Okay guys, so we're on our way home from the model and I had to pull out the camera because we're having a pretty interesting conversation. And not for the reasons you'd think. We're not fighting.
We're just talking intensely.
Like we do, because we're both type A people.
Well, so the conversation was, what home do we want, right? Obviously, a lot of you guys know we have an apartment. It's a broom closet. We're not complaining about it. You know, we just, it's small, it's tiny, it's cramped. And
it's just not...
we're outgrowing it.
Yeah, we've completely outgrown it. And
5 years ago, it was cute.
It was. And you know what? We've delayed a really long time living in that apartment, driving the cars that we drive, and... investing in the businesses. You know, so we've been working on putting in our dues, so to say. And the interesting thing for us in buying a house, most of the time the conversation is you go off of what you can afford. Being an entrepreneurial couple though, like, it's a little bit of a different conversation because
it's not the same thing. We don't try to figure out what we can afford. We try to figure out what we need to do to make the income, the passive income in a best case scenario, to meet the needs of what we desire. So when you're making $100,000 a year or $60,000 a year, your life has to fit in that pay grade, into that mold. When you're an entrepreneur, as you guys can imagine, let's say you want something that's, $100,000 doodad or liability, well, that's fine. Just figure out a way to start a business or start another program, add something that can make that $500 a month, payment, mortgage payment, loan payment, whatever you call it. Now, we're big advocates for being debt-free, but let's be realistic. Everybody gets a mortgage up front. It's just for the most part. I mean, you're not buying a $500,000.
Unless you're buying like a tiny house.
Yeah, right. We're not buying a $500,000 home in cash, not yet. But I'll tell you this, once we get a mortgage, we'll pay that thing off in 5 or 10 years because I'm not having a mortgage and paying interest on something for...
Do you know the root word of mortgage?
That's payment until death.
It literally means payment until death in Latin. Yeah,
it's crazy. So anyway, we were just talking about the fact that our options are we could move from the apartment and go rent a condo. We could move from the apartment and go rent an ultra luxury apartment. We can go rent a nice rental home, 2,500 square foot rental home, $2,500 a month, that's okay. We could buy and build a Robertson Brothers home, which is just a builder over here, cute little homes.
They're nice, like, starter family homes. I mean, they're a little bit nicer than, like, a starter home.
Well, they're not high end. Yeah,
they're not high end. They're just in a cute area.
They're in the 350s. The one we want's almost 4, and they're nice. They're definitely nice. We could grow into that for the next 7 to 10 years. Have 3 kiddos, and do the whole deal. That would be a totally fine home for us. Yeah. And in fact, that might still be something that we pull the trigger on. Pay it off in 10 years, and we want to have the ultra luxury $800,000 baller home, which many people are going to comment, we don't need that. Of course we don't need that. Nobody needs that, but that's just what we want.
We don't need to eat yummy food either.
Yeah, we just, like, you make it to spend it. You're not taking any of it with you. So anyway, we like dream building, as you guys probably saw in the last video. And that was just the conversation. We were saying, like, do we want to build or buy a $400,000 home? Do we want to build or buy and wait another year?
Delay another year.
And buy a $550,000, $600,000 home? Do we want to chill for another year or two, which we probably both put a couple more hole punches in the wall?
I don't think we can make it another year.
No, we would have to rent. We'd have to rent a condo or a different apartment for the next 18 months if we're going to hold out for another 1.5 to 2 years, because we need space. We need a garage. So I'm not opposed to renting ultra luxury apartments and then with garages, you know what I mean, and then building a $650,000 home 18 to 24 months from now. But you guys got to understand too, like, I know videos like this, you guys, that watch and you guys are fans, are all over the world, right? And all over the country. And you know what, in Metro Detroit, Michigan, dude, it's just expensive.
It is.
Oakland County, with where we're at,
we live in, it's like the richest county, one of the richest counties in all of the United States, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, like, people talk about California and LA, and you know what, it's expensive there. I'm not trying to compete, but dude, like, a 3-2 up here is $350,000, $400,000. Like, a nice, it was like built in like the 90s. Yeah, dude, it's nuts. And so, not that that's bad.
We just want new. We want something new. We want space. We want it on a decent sized lot. We'd like to buy 5 or 10 acres. Yeah, we go back and forth a lot with the Robertson Brothers home. Like, if we would like to we want to take that model and put it on land.
Yeah.
But the problem is that around here, it's like $40,000 an acre. If you go outside of the burbs and you go into farmland, you know, territory, which is about a half hour away from us, you can get an acre for $8,000–9,000. And that sounds great, but then I'm a half hour away from my traditional lawn and landscape business. Yeah, and I don't want to drive for a half hour every day going to work, if you will.
It's just a different kind of a conversation in general. A lot of the conversations that we have in our life, in our marriage especially, aren't your typical
conversations. Well, what people got to understand is, like we were saying, is that when you're an entrepreneur, you don't try to afford things. You try to build assets, in a best case scenario, passive income asset, because you could start another pizza shop, you know, but then you're going to be stuck there for another 50 hours a week that you probably already don't have time for. That's where franchises come into play. That's where network marketing businesses, that's where YouTube, that's where passive income assets can kind of come into play. And you know what? If that home is, the Robertson Brothers home is going to be $2,000 a month, that home that we just looked at might be $3,200 a month. Well, I'm not going to, you know, go work more hours. I'm going to try to start another business or grow a business, add a product line. And you know what? Adding $1,200 a month to established businesses like we have, that's another year of effort tops. So it's like, it's not like the end of the world if we don't build or buy right now in the next 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. It's just, let's just take some more time, invest in our businesses, grow that passive income, and then we can afford what we want. And it's kind of like a game. It's challenging.
It's challenging, especially as like a lady. Like, I wanted a house yesterday, and like having to delay has been
tough. It's emotional. It's actually really tough.
It is. And I know, like, we're kind of counterculture. Everybody around us is buying houses or having kids and like doing all of these things.
Buying jewelry.
Buying purses and cars, and I mean, we did just buy a truck, but
it's a business tool.
It's a business tool, and we've just, every decision that we make is so calculated and so thought out, and we delay for a lot of things. And I just want to put this out there and say, like, if you're in the same position as us, like, you're not the only one. Like, it's hard being an entrepreneur because you feel like you're
discriminated.
Yeah, like, and it's almost like you're standing still compared to everybody else, but like your feet under the water like a duck are just going so hard, and nobody else sees that. And I'm, you know. Well,
you know, it's funny, like, there's been weeks where we have eaten fast food 7 days in a row. Which, like, and it's not like good or bad, it's just, we've been so busy where we can't cook dinner. And people are like, well, that's not right. Your life is unbalanced. It absolutely
Heck yeah, it is unbalanced. And it should be. If you're too balanced, where are you going to get in life?
Yeah, and that's a funny thing too, where we'll build a $700,000 home at 32 years old, and there's people in that model looking at homes that we didn't put on camera, obviously, and everybody that walked that home were 40 and 50 years old, and good for them. Seriously, that's a 40, 50 year old executive estate, you know, business owner kind of home. But a lot of these people are project managers, and you know what, and I love my corporate people. It's just funny though, because you can make 6 figures in corporate America by the time you're 25, 28 years old, but you can also get laid off and fired tomorrow. And I always say making 100 grand a year in corporate America is not the same making 100 grand with a business. And you know what, I was telling Liz, in 3 or 4 years we could have 3 or 4 businesses making 100 grand a year for each of us. That's where it gets really exciting and motivating. So long story short, we know what we want. We're figuring things out every single day with defining exactly what we want, how we're building our future. It gets exciting, it gets frustrating, because it's just, how long do we want to keep waiting? What do we want to do? We're also, you know, we like to spend money, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We like nice things.
It's interesting because, like, the longer we hold on, the nicer the stuff we'll get when we decide to purchase something. And so
it's tough as a business owner because you got to be patient, man. You may not see that payoff for 5, 10, 15 years. And while our friends are going to the beach and they're going on these vacations on cruises, I buy a $10,000 enclosed trailer. And while they're buying, you know, rings and jewelry and earrings and bags and purses, we're buying a Boss plow. But here's the deal. In a few short years, those lines cross, and then I can buy earrings every month. I can buy cars every 2 months because it's getting real good.
That's one thing that you do that I appreciate as a wife. So husbands, if you're listening, is like, you always paint the picture of where we're going. We put the blinders on, you know, like horses wear the blinders, keep them forward focused, and you paint the picture of what our life is going to look like. And I really appreciate that, because as a lady, like, it is more of an emotional decision for me. Like, we are more emotional people. Like, you compartmentalize.
Why use a big word when a diminutive one will work?
Diminutive?
That's a joke. It's an old line. But anyway.
Compartmentalize.
Stop. We're going to lose credibility.
Okay. Anyways, so guys are able to put things in boxes, and us ladies are like spaghetti. Like, that's pretty well known. Everything's connected to everything, and it's just different. And so that's something I do really appreciate, is you making sure that...
One secret is that I always take her debit card away too. No. That's not true.
That's not true.
I'm going to the mall. No, you're not. Get over here. No, anyway. All right, well, let's wrap this one up. You good?
Good.
All right, guys, so we wanted to know, what is something that you guys are working towards? Do you guys ever get some flack from friends and family why you're not buying or upgrading new vehicles or houses or having kids yet? Do you guys get all that stuff? It's the holiday season. It's early January right now, but we just went through Thanksgiving and Christmas. We know the same conversations you guys probably get. If so, leave us a comment down below. Love to relate. Love to hear what you guys are going through, and we're all on the journey together. All right, guys, FPO2 over and out. We'll catch you guys all up here soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.